Good morning and welcome back to the farm. We have officially made it into fall. We've officially made it into September. Things are looking up for us. We are kind of feeling our way through this, learning how to be a farmer. We kind of got, off to a good start. We already had a field or two to plow, or I'm sorry, to harvest, and got off to a good start. We're going to have some money coming in here soon. This is the exciting part I'm looking at. We already got eggs coming in. Our chickens are happy. Their chickens are fed. But that's not everything. It's not all just good news. I came over to this field this morning after I woke up. It's starting to grow. We did that right. But we got some weeds coming in. You can even see them coming in all over the place. And that's not going to be too good. So I do think that that's where we're going to start this day, this month. We're going to try to figure out how to get the weeds out of there. Let's go ahead and take the John Deere. I don't know what is going on here. I don't know why this isn't flat. I don't know if this is all supposed to look like this. It's just like kind of sand / gravel. Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's almost like a beach, and our tractor seems to be getting stuck in that. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But everything's working out so far so good. Our production over here, it hasn't produced anything in the way of pallets yet, so I'm a little nervous about that. But not to worry. See, I don't think this is supposed to be like this. We should be driving through our parking lot, bouncing around and everything. But I don't know. Maybe we can find a way to work on that at a later date. Let's pop on over here to the store, see what they got for us. Try to do some weed control. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna try to be cheap here in the beginning. I hope it doesn't bite me in the butt. Let's see, anything on sale today? Don't even matter because their sale prices are far beyond anything we can afford right now. So pretend like we didn't even look at that. But I think what we're gonna do is try to buy this. It's only $6,500. Got plenty of money for it. Should be the last thing we have to buy before the winter months. So we're going to go ahead and buy this, try to get rid of the weeds. My understanding is if you ignore the weeds, is that your production out of your, or I guess your yield from your fields is not going to be what it should be. And we can't, honestly, literally, can't afford them. So we're gonna try to take care of that. What's the front side of this here? Perfect. It worries me that everything else was like $20, $30, $40,000, and this was only $6,500. I feel like we're maybe gonna be unpleasantly surprised when we try to use this. But if it works, we just saved ourselves a boatload of money, and that might be all the difference on staying successful through the cold winter months here. So let's go ahead and get this unfolded. The scary thing is, like, I don't know. We have crop destruction on, so I don't know if we can we drive on this, or is it gonna... Alright, doesn't look like there's any crops going away. So that was step number 1. Let's get this turned on. Step number 2 is to see if this actually gets rid of any weeds. Aha, look at that. It looks like those weeds are disappearing. So this is perfect. We just saved a boatload of money. I am very, very happy about that. Boom, look at that. Make sure we touch all corners of this field. And let's go ahead and get to work this morning, this beautiful, brisk September morning. We got a lot of work to do on the farm today. Let's go ahead and get these weeds pulled and catch you guys on the last pass. Alright, that worked out pretty good. A little better than I thought it was going to. All the weeds are now off of this field. I'll tell you what though, man, this John Deere is struggling. I feel like this John Deere's maybe seen its last day. But we're going to have to make do with what we got. Only took us about an hour. It's still early in the morning, so we'll get this folded up. And I think our next order of business, get this field planted. I still don't know what that... It was not like that at the beginning of the last episode, so I don't know what is going on over here with this sand. Or whatever you want to call it. Just drop that off. Or actually turn this off. We don't need that right now. We'll jump into the Challenger here. I just noticed this. Look at this. This was not here this morning. We got our first pallet of flour. Look at this. Beautiful. Look at that. Doing good. Doing good. We're starting to make progress. I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable going into the winter. Let's jump out here and just double check real quick. Where's my field? Am I in the field? Needs rolling. We're not going to do that. We will fertilize it one more time today. No more weeds. That's a good sign. I love it. We are going to make sure our chickens are taken care of this winter though. You know, anything extra is probably going to go into the production for flour. And then depending on how much we actually have towards the later months of winter, maybe early spring, if it looks like, you know, we're getting close to harvest again, and we still have some left over, depending on what the prices are, might even be able to sell off the extra wheat that we have, make a couple extra bucks from that. Wheat's going in, that looks good. Get this planted up, and then we'll get these two fields fertilized. And then I think that should just about do it. We'll make sure our chickens have food for the rest of the month, and then I think that should just about do it for September. And then we're kind of on just damage control for the next few months after that. We'll see what the next episode brings us as far as if we kind of sleep through that and wait till some of those prices are right for us to sell some products and make some money. Like I said, we kind of have to get a benchmark this first year to kind of see just how much money our small production, the rest of our farm, is actually going to bring in for us. I do remember in that first episode I was saying I didn't really want to do contracts, just because I think they're fun. Don't get me wrong. I think with the contracts though is that they pay a lot of them pay an extremely large amount of money for not a whole lot of work, and I don't know how realistic that is. Like getting $5,000-$6,000 to mow someone's grass is probably not the most realistic thing in the world. We might reevaluate that though, depending on how slow this winter goes. If we're only making a couple $1,000 of profit, then I'm not really trying to play a 10-year series. I don't think that makes for good or exciting content. So we might reevaluate, do some contracts. That way we can kind of expedite the expansion of our farm. Ideally, though, I'd like to make our own money. And then if we do want to facilitate an expansion, new equipment, things like that, I'd rather lean towards taking out loans. I think the loans are slightly more realistic simply just because you have to pay interest on those every month, and you have to make sure your farm is maintained and that you have enough money coming in each month to cover those costs, and then slowly pay it back. So yeah, plan A, we make enough money to make sense of some loans. If that doesn't seem to be working out too well, then we'll reevaluate on the contract situation. Either way, we're gonna slow roll it through the first year. Inevitably get to August again, and kind of reevaluate our plan moving forward from there. But let's go ahead and get this field planted, and we'll catch you guys on the last pass. All right, we are finishing up this last little bit of the field, and we will have our second of two fields completely planted, ready to grow this winter. There it is. Turn that off. We are looking pretty good. I'm feeling good about it, at least. I feel like we're making all the right decisions. Starting small. Not a whole lot of money in the bank. Not a whole lot of know-how on whether or not we're doing the right thing or not. But let's get this kind of tucked away. We're not going to need this again until next year. Let's get rid of that. And then I think what we have left, man, we're making good time. It's not even noon yet. I think what we have left right now is to fertilize these two fields. Try not to get stuck in whatever this sand is that populated in our driveway. That's crazy. I gotta look into that, figure that out. Anyway, we got 50% on both fields. Let's unfold this. I think we'll get them both fertilized. And then I think we should be ready to jump deep into the fall and at least sleep until October and really just kind of manage ourselves, manage our money. 50%, yep, it's ready. No weeds growing in there. That's good to know, good to see. Manage our money, and then really it's just going to be a waiting game on those straw bales, the eggs, the wheat, and the flour until we're ready to sell it. But we'll finish strong here in September, and then we'll make a plan after we sleep once or twice after that. But let's go ahead and get this fertilized. Call it a successful day. Call it a successful end to the summer season for us. Looking good, looking good. Look at this. We got another field down. This one should be planted, growing, and close to 100% yield bonus. Let's jump out and we'll take a look. Turn this off. Try not to run ourselves over. Oh, there is weeds growing. Okay, interesting. Where was that? Some weeds growing. I think we'll do what we did in that field over there, though, and we'll wait a month, let them kind of show themselves, and then we'll go through and we'll go ahead and pull those up. At 95%, I think the only way we were going to get 100% was if we rolled the field, but we can't afford that. I looked into it. It's like $30,000-$40,000 for the cheapest rollers, so that's probably going to be at least in the next harvest or the one after that. But for right now, that's not really in our price range, so we'll have to settle for 95%, which is completely fine. Let's go ahead and get this fertilized. Can't really see the color change in the soil though, so let's just double check to make sure Yeah, 100% fertilized. We're looking good. Let's keep going with that. We'll get this one done. Settle for 95% on this one also. And then we should be able to clean up. Hard day's work done by noon. That's going to be pretty nice. We'll be able to clean up and get ready to hunker down for the winter. Alright, we should just about be done this field. Both our fields, honestly. That liquid fertilizer, man, that thing lasted a good amount of time. I think the way to do it, though, is what we did with that field, where we fertilized after we cultivated, waited a month, planted, fertilized again. Because I mean, it's all gonna work out the same, but you can't really tell. Thank goodness for the guided steering in these lines, because honestly, you can't tell. There's no color change or anything. So let's get this folded up. Try not to hit anybody. We should be able to get the rest of this pallet over here. Finally get off their property. Yeah, there what was there, like 10 liters left in that? That's fine. We got 43% left. We won't have to use it again. We only have 2 fields, so that was a pretty good investment if you ask me. Let's go ahead and get this parked up and out of the way. There we go. Turn that off. Might as well clean up a little bit here. Let's get the John Deere out of the way too. Oh, let's get this out of the weeder out of the way. Try to start making this house a home, this farm a home. Because it's gonna be our home for the foreseeable future until we can start making some real money. But I'm excited for what we can turn this place into. Let's get that off of there, turn that off. One last thing to check before we go to the next month. Let's see. Yeah, look at that food. They barely go through any food. So I'm digging that. We should have plenty of wheat that we're able to sell. Walter over there, all he does is follow us no matter where we go. We got wheat left over. We got flour going. Both fields are planted, fertilized, ready to go, man. I'm feeling good. I appreciate you guys sticking with us as we kind of get our feet wet, kind of figure out everything on this farm. I'm excited for what's ahead of us. Hopefully we make it through this winter. I know the money's looking okay right now, but we'll see how long that lasts. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, drop a comment, and we will see you in the winter.